Yep, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I Carolina squatted it.
Hey Mom, look, the boys are back in town.
Welcome back to Shag's Shop, everybody. Here with another episode of the dogs. Here with another episode of the 3rd Gen 4Runner. Sorry that it's nighttime. I haven't been home often, and I try to make as many videos as I can. I got ties. I got wheels and tires from a guy off Facebook Marketplace. Off that Marketplace special. And I gotta get them all unloaded and put on. But I think we're gonna wait for the morning for that. So we'll see y'all in the morning. Well, it's currently the next morning. Like I said, we're gonna get these tires on and these tires off. These tires that are on them are 265 75s, I believe. If we look down here somewhere, it'll tell us. Yep, 265 75s. The ones that I got are 285 75, which equates to like 32s or so. And I got a free 35. I had to throw it out because I couldn't fit it with the window up. So last night it started pouring rain. Yep, back to a little wet. But let's throw y'all on a time lapse somewhere nice and dry. That way y'all can watch me mess around with it. Now that just looks good. It's a little bit of camber in it. I do have to get these realigned because the guy that I bought the truck from was running 33s by 12.5s by 16s. So that means he had more tires sticking out. These are 11.5s. I honestly, this is good. This is nice. I love it. It's a perfect size tire. I ran the 33s by 12.5s on Athena, and I loved it, but good gracious, the gas mileage was atrocious. So I like this. I'm still trying to decide. I had all the lug nuts from Athena still. Well, I thought I did. I only had enough to do the front, but I like the look of the back, the silver accent to it, because these also have like a little silver screw-on cap, and I may switch it up. Not sure yet. But hit it from the other side. Yeah, that looks good. Next, I think we're gonna move on into the inside. Because if you can't tell, somebody can't do a tent right, obviously. I don't know what happened when I was doing this tent, but it didn't turn out right. So I got another roll. I'm either gonna do the tent, or I may just send it on a new radio today. Really not sure. I rode about 2 hours to get these tires. And as you can see, still has stock speakers, still has the amplifier in it. So we're gonna flip a coin, figure out what's next. Before we move on to the next thing, I also wanted to point out that I measured my ride height. I don't know if you can see it in the time lapse, but I measured it from where the door meets down to the ground. Just as a control, went from 23 to 24 inches. So we got a whole inch out of these tires, which is nice. And I like the way it sits. Not too tall, not too small. 10 out of 10. All right, let's flip that coin. I know I said I was gonna do some tent. I know I said I was gonna do some head units. I know I said I was gonna do a lot of things, but I got sidetracked like I usually do. Yeah, so fun facts of the day. I already knew when I got the truck, the guy said he had welded this in because it had just rusted out and popped out, which is typical for these front seats. I didn't know about this bracket right here though, which is super easy. I mean, it looks like it just snapped off the seat on the bottom end. This is the OEM seat. As you can tell, it is a mess, but it has the heaters since it's a limited. So I'm going to have it redone this week. and then we're gonna put it back in there. I got some quotes that I did not really care for, so I think I'm just gonna go with the vinyl and then do a seat on top of it, and then do the heater because I have the heaters. I love the leather, but I just can't pay for it. So I'm also gonna have the other one done as well, and there's seat cover over it. But I'm also gonna get some new carpet this week before I put this seat back in. So let's get that other thing out and get it a little cleaned up. Gone for about 2 weeks, and that thing started right up. Joking, it barely started up. This one, the battery was dead. That one I don't have any power to now, so yeah, that's fun. But not focusing on those two, focusing on this one again. I got some carpet, so now I got to get these seats out, some of the trim out, get the carpet replaced, and then I know I showed you all just a minute ago that little arch there and the arch there that the seats bolt to. I'm going to cut out of Athena over there, and I'm going to re-weld them in here, so that way I can actually bolt the seats down, since this one has a massive hole in it, and then this one is also bored out. So let's go ahead and get these seats out, get the carpet out, get the trim out, and get them cut up. Now I know it doesn't look like much. It's quite dirty underneath the seats. So I'm gonna have to get a little brush, clean that up. But I got the seats out. I'm pretty much just gonna do the same thing I did with the other one. Just fold it over into the back seat, pull it out, and put it straight into the trash. It looks, I was kind of curious on how it looked underneath of it, because there's no carpet there. That's just hard. So I'm curious to see what it looks like underneath, like that spot right over there. Let's roll it up. Let's get it out. I'll show y'all what it looks like. Well, we got all the carpet out. I vacuumed out this side. Looks not too bad. There's a little bit of rust right up through here, creeping on that ridge. I don't like nothing's soft right there. Nothing soft there. I'm looking pretty good on this side. The back, the factory insulation also looks spectacular. It's a little dirty, but I mean spectacular for how old the vehicle is. So it's a little dirty back there. I'll have to go back there and hit it. Nothing really too crazy. The only issue, if we go around to the side, the only issue that I found was the front driver's seat. And that is a body mount right there, and a colony of ants, if you can see them right above it. Yep, right in there, whole colony of ants. Pulled that thing back and they went swarming. So I don't think it's that bad. I think it's just around that body mount. It's kind of concerning. I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye on it and then figure something out to do there. And then over here, what I'm planning on doing is probably cutting right there. Probably drilling that out there, that pop weld, pulling that out, and then putting the other one in. Let's get this thing vacuumed out, cleaned up. I was going to use the extra insulation that I had from the first gen, but with this looking how good it is, I think I may just leave it and then come back if I ever want to do it again. Isn't that right, Owl? Let's get it swept out. Here we are. We got the piece out. You can see the bolt holes. It's not the prettiest. What you barking at, dog? It's not the prettiest, but it works. So I'm gonna pretty much fit this right over the other section trace it and cut it pretty much in the exact same spot or that close of, and then weld it on in. There we have it. I have this one cut out. This one I took a little bit extra time on. I wanted to make sure it was neat. I wanted to make sure I got it right there, and kind of got the wire harness there. Thankfully, it's just to the seat, nothing super crazy. This one will just snug up pretty much right in there like that. There we go. I mean, pretty much just like that. I am gonna vacuum it and then grab a drill with a wire brush, knock down some of the paint, so that way when I weld it in, I will have nice good connections. But yeah, that's nice to have out of there because that's a mess. So let's get that wire brushed and weld it in there. I would just like to say, I am no welder. I just play with a welder sometimes. They're not that great. This side is probably my better looking side. This, I just couldn't get, like every time I would get a good bead, it just melt right away. So I kind of had to build it up a little by little. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not going nowhere. I'm going to grind it down, hit it with a little bit of spray paint, clean it up a little bit, make it actually match a little, and yeah, and then we'll go on with the carpet. Well, as I was working, I got a lot of things kind of taken care of. This is just a Rock Auto medium oak color. So you can see it's a little different from like the regular tan. It's a little bit darker. I would say it's a little bit oakier, but I don't know if that's even a thing. But we have this, I had to cut in around the center console. This is just comes as one big sheet. It does have the like kind of printouts for the AC here, or the heater for the rear, and then the seat in the back, you can see where it kind of pops up at. So I'm gonna have to trim along the back there a little bit. I had to trim that center console. I'm gonna have to trim these fronts. This one's close, but just getting it where it, yeah, like that's, they give you a whole lot extra. So getting it where I can just kind of wiggle it in there. But yeah, I like how this is. Probably gonna take off a little bit right here and then trim around. That side is perfect. Like it goes all the way around with no problem. Over here, I have a bunch of excess. So I don't know if I'm gonna push it over that way and then trim off there, or just trim off the whole thing. Cause I got trim pieces that go over there. So I'm gonna keep trimming. I'll let y'all know in just a little bit how it looks. Now that looks pretty darn tootin' good to me. I had to put the seat in because I have to drive to an interview, and I'm not like, I need a seat, and I got to get it aligned today. I don't know if I've shown you all the camber on these things since, but good gracious, that's terrible. Also, seems to be leaking some CV juice. Some CV juices. Yeah, definitely on the list of things to do, because that one isn't even connected, and I'm pretty sure the other side isn't connected. But we're focusing on things we're already working on. So I'm just gonna keep on working until my interview, get off, and then come back and keep working on it. Also gotta clean stuff too. I mean, it's just, you do dirty, but not too bad, not too bad. Here we have it. Man, that tin is dark. I love it. So there's that medium oak. I have some of the trim pieces back in. Some of them I do not have back in. Pretty much that whole passenger side is done and cleaned up. If this dog would not stop messing with me. So now I'm going to go through and clean these two back sections of seats with the leather cleaner. I already hit one little spot right there. You can barely tell because of that black smidgen, but the discoloration just looks terrible. So we're gonna go ahead and clean those up as well. But yeah, I think it came out pretty well for all things considered. Cut it all out, cleaned up that front section a little bit more, and I still got to clean up the center console before I install. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get it all put back together, and we'll do a nice little walkthrough. As y'all just saw, I cleaned up the back seats and got them reinstalled. It came out a little bit better, still a little discolored. It's all right. Still missing a few trim pieces. Those I'm gonna have to either get from Athena over there or go to the junkyard and get. Put that back. But that's going to conclude the rest of this episode. You got the center console in too. That's going to conclude it. I don't have seats, so we're going to have to get some new seats. And in the next episode, we'll install, hopefully, some new ones. Reupholstered, new, whatever you want to call it. We'll see y'all next week on Shack Shop.